Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here from Safi Financial Network. Today is May 8th, 2024. Here is another daily analysis. All right, let's start with S&P 500. This is for second day. Actually, market just traded very low volume, just a doji bar here, nothing special, a narrow body bar. So it seems like market is just getting into another corrective move, I should say. So if you just look at the daily chart here, so you're kind of like overstretched, overbought to this area, which is kind of like this supply area here. So no surprise for us. A market, we should just expect more downside sideways for next couple days. And if it forms here kind of like a bullish consolidation or kind of like a shallow corrective move to here to somewhere around like, let's say, 5,100 to 5,000, let's say 80. So that's going to be the level, the maximum actually downside I'm expecting at this stage of the game. And then we can see some kind of like a bottom. And market is just getting into summer rally phase. Let's say by after May 15th, which the day that CPI number comes up, I believe that that's going to be a very nice price mover to the upside or downside. But right now, we should just give market benefit of doubt for a bullish momentum. As I said, it's going to be a sideways to the down for a next few days. Why? Because I'm seeing this in a weekly chart. A weekly chart, we just bottom last week, I should say, weekly chart, it just bottom here based on the stochastic momentum and also based on IMI. So if we just zoom in here, I'm going to just cover that one in weekly edition as well. So this is kind of like a for third consecutive week that we are just seeing the market is just going up. And this is kind of like the crossover. I know that this is not ideal setup because that would be kind of like ideal setup. We see stochastic is getting to oversold condition and crossover here, signal back to the upside. But right now, I should say stochastic just crossover, which is not my favorite. But IMI is kind of like forming, kind of like this is very weak. I should say this is kind of like the bottom information as well here on this trend line. Again, that would be kind of like the best scenario if IMI goes down to oversold condition. But weekly chart is kind of like a mix. And that's why I'm kind of like a slightly bullish. But based on the daily chart, we should expect some kind of like a sell-off or kind of like a sideways action for next, I should say, 3 to 4 days, a business day, and then market can go higher after that. Moving on to Nasdaq, which is kind of like exactly the same scenario here, just a doji bar, nothing spectacular. It's just consolidating prior this trend line. If it consolidates here more, probably that's going to be the bottom or kind of like the pattern that everyone is expecting. Some people are expecting more downside. I should say this is going to be the maximum downside move I'm kind of like expecting if market gives us opportunity. So that's got to be 17,600 to 17,681, and that's going to be it. So, and after that, we should see some kind of like a rally getting back, and that would be kind of like a perfect reverse head and shoulder here form just prior this the trend line for the next upside move. So we are kind of like giving the market benefit of doubt. Still narrow body bar and nothing special happening. Moving on to Dow, which was kind of like a positive today. Pretty good positive day. Why? Because financials and energy is just going higher. So Dow is kind of like a leading. And as you see here, this is a perfect W pattern here for Dow and triggered to the upside. So we're just getting above this 38,600. Right now, we just get into kind of like a minor resistance here, somewhere around 39,300. But that's going to be kind of like the top here. So, and then we can see some kind of like a pullback to this area for a next buying opportunity. So Dow is kind of like a leading while the other indexes are lagging right now. Moving on to gold, which was kind of like a doji bar here, nothing spectacular. I believe this is kind of like the bottom information for gold. So it takes a while, but if it triggers the buy signal, I should say that's going to be very repeat to the all-time high. Just be patient, wait for that one because gold is kind of like a kind of like poising itself for a next rally to the upside. The pattern here is silver. So silver, I like the silver. Silver just shows better a pattern here. We just had a fantastic move on May 8th, Monday session, and then consolidation. So more consolidation means price is going to rip higher more. And if it goes above this, we can see some kind of like a $30 to $32 per ounce of silver is coming down the road. So right now we're just seeing this consolidation is forming, and we will leave the market as is. Moving on to crude, kind of like I got a buy signal from crude today. So this is kind of like the perfect scenario that I was looking for. A shadow down here just to stop haunting lots of people, and then retracing back up nicely and close above like 1, 2, 3, and even 4 consecutive days. So it just close above last 4 days, which is strong momentum to the upside. So this is exactly what I got a buy signal at the very, very good level. This is kind of like a trend line. As I said, this trend line doesn't have symmetry, which is weak, but reacted so far. So we just give a crude benefit of doubt for a next rally, at least to this neckline. If it consolidates here, this means neckline doesn't work and it's going to go higher as well. So a buy signal for crude, at least for a short-term period. Moving on to individual names, let's just start with Bitcoin as usual. Bitcoin is coming down. So this is kind of like the concern for crypto market. Still, they can go to the lower low. I believe they can go to the lower low to just finish their kind of like a corrective move. So this is kind of like the channel that we are looking at, and potentially it can go lower to this important demand area, which is going to be 48 to 52. The juicy spot is going to be $50. So if it goes there, I'm going to buy with 2 hands Bitcoin. Actually, I just have a small cash position just for potential drop within the next few days in any asset class. I should say, I just told my subscribers as well, we are almost all in stocks, and I believe that the rally is coming down the road. Moving on to bond yield, which is forming a bear flag here. There is kind of like a bounce, but this bounce is very, very weak. This means a potential drop in bond yield is coming, and this can come up with this May 15, which is going to be the CPI announcement. Moving on to the Treasury, which is coming down today. Treasury, not a bad price action, still dealing with this area to $90. VIX is coming down 23 cents down today. So VIX is just hammering to the downside. I believe that for the next corrective move, we can see some kind of like a spike in VIX to $16 maximum. And then we should see some kind of like a stock market final bottom there. Moving on to Dixie, which kind of like a hiking higher. As I said, Dixie is getting to this white range bar. I can see the rejection. So this is kind of like a 105.50. So Dixie is down today, rejected down. Moving on to magma indicator, just a bullish candle today, not a bad session at all. So it's just the start of weak, early session, but goes back up nicely. The entire session, buyers just took control. Apple, just at 34 cents up, not a bad price session, just hiking back up nicely. This is kind of like a shadow we want to see. 3 higher low consecutive down the road. Amazon 76 cents up, down today, but good candle here. Meta $4.36 up. After hours, just took a hit just to buy dollar, but nothing crazy happening. This is kind of like a gap fill. People are waiting for reversal signal to the downside, but if it consolidates here, there is no downside, which is kind of like a gap fill on the down. So this is kind of like the scenario everyone needs to pay attention. Moving on to Microsoft, just going higher today, $1.20 up. Google $1.80 down today. So, but still, candle is okay. So there's nothing bad, pretty close to the all-time high Google. Moving on to Netflix, just a sharp move to the upside, but coming back down just after hours a bit. 608 closing today. Tesla gap down, but nicely going higher. So it was kind of like investigation on the other names as well. So for electric car, and right now Tesla is just forming, I should say, a very nice bullish candle here. So this is kind of like the bull flag that I'm just looking at. If Tesla goes higher and see some kind of like a good pattern here, we should see some kind of like a good momentum to 260 down the road. Moving on to SMH, which is semiconductor index, 67 cents. Up today, up. It's kind of like a neutral candle day. It's kind of like a forming, starting bullish consolidation again, the same as the other names. Stocks, the same pattern here, 21 cents up. Taiwan Semiconductor Index stock, $2.49 up. Not a bad session. This is kind of like a I should say this is pretty bullish actually. Look at that. So it's kind of like a breaking up this trend line. This is pretty nice momentum. So if you just see this one as well. So this is exactly people needs to see. If it just establishes itself above 150, I should say that one can go higher and higher and higher to new all-time high. AMD just a downtick today, 81 cents. Not a bad session. Still forming out this bottom W pattern shape. NVIDIA, after 2 days ago surge, today just a hiccup, $1.42 down, bullish consolidation forming here. Texas Instruments rocking to the upside. This is my favorite one, and I'm just a stockholder for this while, like long time ago, I should say. And this is right now, it's just forming very nicely. If it goes above 190, I should say Texas is going to head to double top or even new all-time high. By summertime, we can see more higher highs coming down the road. Lam Research, $1.63 down today, but gap down and then going higher today. So not a bad session, all in all. XLF, which is kind of like a down mover, financials, they did great. So financials did very, very nice bull flag here, trigger to the upside, can potentially go to new all-time high or double top. I should say this is very, very not ideal head and shoulder just forming with this bull flag. So we can go higher to new all-time high for XLF, I believe. Moving on to KBE, which is large cap bank ETF. This is multi-VIX consolidation. This is one of my favorite patterns. If it breaks to the upside, can go pretty higher than this. KRE, this one already broken up to the upside. And the potential scenario is going to be KRE, which is going to be regional. They are showing very, very nice bull flag here, weekly bull flag here. So this is kind of like the one that I see. So a very, very nice scenario for KRE regional banks, specifically when they're just forming a bull flag within this trend line, and they can go higher to 56, even $60 down the road. JP Morgan, surge to the upside, fantastic bull flag trigger to the upside. Goldman Sachs new all-time high, nominal all-time high today. Bank of America 13 cents down, but still this is kind of like a doji bar. Bullish consolidation means higher prices coming. Wells Fargo 97 cents up today. A good surge, this bullish consolidation, I believe, that triggered to the upside as well. Moving on to the gold miners, which they didn't do anything today, just a kind of like scratching their wheels for next rally. GDXJ, the same pattern. Juniors actually are forming better based on my cycle analysis. Make sure watch that video as well. AEM 40 cents up today, good price action, and EM Newmont is just forming higher and higher. So this is kind of like the scenario that I'm just looking for. This is not bear flag at all. This is kind of like a digestive move after this 10% rally. Earning is kind of like a helping price to get higher. I believe that if it goes above 43, we should see some kind of like a marvelous move to 56 and then $60 for Newmont. Franco-Nevada 31 cents up. Gold Barrick 2 cents down, another bad price action, still holding up themselves as well here. Moving on to XLE, which is kind of like Energy Spider, but this one is not following exactly what Crude does. So this is kind of like bullish candle, I should say. This is a small bull flag. If it goes below this, we can see some kind of like a lower low to here to complete this kind of like a tree drive pattern. Right now, I should say this is kind of like ABC down, but we need more strong candle to the upside if it wants to establish itself a bullish one. This is kind of like a screaming that sellers to control, especially 154 XOP. So potentially they can go lower. OIH 97 cents down today. Again, this is kind of like a rejection that I'm seeing with this wide range bar here. So that kind of like going down potentially to 299, 308. And Exxon just still with this bull flag here, 12 cents down, and Chevron 13 cents down today. So Chevron is just after this bottoming tail, it's just forming a bullish consolidation. We will see if it's going to go higher or not. If it challenges this 167 and then going higher, 174 is coming down the road. All right, that's my analysis for today. I believe that it's going to be valuable for you folks. Just give me a like or something if you think that it's going to be valuable. And please share it with your friends, relatives, if they are interested in the stock market analysis. We are just covering lots of good names daily and weekly. Have a fantastic evening. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.